Well, I kind of lied. I thought that there was going to be a final video on the display cabinet build, but this is going to be actually the next to the last one. This shows the jig that I put in place to help me locate the slats on the side of the display cabinet. I pin nail those at the top and bottom with a 23 gauge pin nailer, and then in the pre-drilled holes, I use those as a guide to drill into the display cabinet a little further, and then I inserted into each of those holes a brass plug with some thick CA glue to kind of hold it in place. I put 4 slats on each side. I was going to do more than that, but when I looked at kind of the mock-up, the 4 seemed to look better balanced, so I went ahead and went with the 4 slats instead of using more. The reason this isn't the final build is that I've still got to get the mirror and the glass shelves in, and we're going to go out tomorrow and order those. And as soon as those are in place, I'll give you the final display cabinet update. And hopefully it'll be totally finished by then. So these are just some pictures that kind of show you what the display cabinet looks like to date. I've still got a few more slats to put on the right-hand side to finish up, but it's getting very close at this point. The brass rods that I had left over, I basically used those to make the plugs. I rounded off one end of the brass rod, kind of smooth it out, and after I did that, I took that longer rod over to the vise, held it in the vise, and then using a ruler that I had set to the thickness of the slats, I picked a location that was a little longer so that it would actually insert into the display cabinet, notched it a little bit with a hacksaw, and then after doing that, I took the Merlin 2 grinder with a fiberglass cutoff wheel and I cut the rod off, and that worked fairly well. Now in the last little video, you'll see me taking this little brass plug and rounding it off at the disc sander. I did that on a couple of those, but it was a little bit risky holding that with a pair of pliers and trying to round it off with a disc sander. So I actually, from then on, used the cutoff wheel itself to round off the ends of the little brass plugs, holding them in a vise. And that worked much better. Wasn't quite as risky. I didn't have to worry about the plug flying out of the pliers and hit me in the head. So that's our update at this point. And we'll get back with you as soon as we have the glass shelves in. Please subscribe.